Oh, here we go. Good morning. It's Jessica Magooch, CEO of JPM Sales Partners, and I'm sharing everything I learned recruiting, training, and leading a 9-figure sales team so you can scale your sales as well. And today we're talking about the 7 automation hacks for busy salespeople and sales leaders. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, I posted our video was about the 6 pillars of sales management, right? If you didn't get that, I'll link back to it. It was meeting 30. And in the 6 pillars, we talked about how I promised that I would teach you how to automate 5 of the 6 pillars so that you can spend more time doing the 6th one, which is coaching. Or for salespeople, that would be at the actual time you spend with your customers. So for a sales leader, the best use of your time is made in coaching salespeople, and most sales leaders spend less than 20% of their time doing that, if they do it at all. Sometimes there's a big confusion between sales training and sales coaching. And then for salespeople, it's the same thing. We want to be spending most of our time in front of customers, talking to potential customers, okay, or closing deals. So the way that you spend more time doing that is by automating the other things, because coaching and as a salesperson talking to a potential client is the thing that only you can do, right? So when we talk about streamlining our business and making room for how do we make more time in your day, make room, we really need to streamline and automate the things that we can so that we're only doing the things that only we can do most of the time. Sound good? So I'm going to take you through these 7 hacks. I'm going to go pretty quickly because you guys know I do my meetings quickly, but I'm all about selling without being pushy or annoying. So none of these are going to be make you pushy or annoying, and they're all highly personal ways to interact with your salespeople and your clients. So the first one is actually, I learned a lot of these, by the way, from the 4-Hour Work Week, which I read while I was in the thick of 60-hour weeks building and managing a 9-figure. Well, we weren't 9 figures then. We were much less. I was kind of at the brink of where my own time and energy was spent, and I couldn't grow anymore. And I read the 4-Hour Work Week, and I thought, heck, when this deal ends, I'm definitely going and doing my own online business, and that's why I'm here now. But while I was there, I realized that I could use a lot of those principles in my current business to automate, and then I could spend more time doing the things I was good at, but overall spend less time in the business and more time on the business, if you've heard that phrase before. So the first thing is to check your email only twice a day. Yes, even as a salesperson, that can seem crazy. So check your email twice a day. I recommend at noon and at the end of the day is usually my times for doing that. And in order to do that, you have to avoid using your email as a task list, right? So some people, they've got emails and they're like, I have to do this, this, and this. Think of it differently, right? Because if you're using it as a task list, then you're going to be tied to that email all day. Which is probably the case right now. So one is check your email twice a day, decide what those times are, and schedule them in. Schedule like a half hour to respond to emails, and I'll show you how that's possible with the rest of the automation hacks. The second hack is, so I use a program called unroll.me, UNROLL.me. And what that does is it automatically aggregates all of my bulk mail and unsubscribes from the ones that I don't want to be on. So what that does is those are email lists that I want to be on. I want to hear what the person has to say, right? But I can't stop my day and read a half-hour article or watch a video and then come back. I need to organize. So unroll.me puts all once a day, rolls those up into one email so you can glance quickly at, the subject lines and a few lines of the email to see if it's something you want to go ahead and open. So it's hugely valuable because none of those things are urgent, right? They might be urgent to the person sending them, but they're not urgent for your business. 2 is a well, this is 3 now, is a program or a service for calendar scheduling, right? So look at your inbox. How many emails going back and forth scheduling appointments, right? I can't stand this. I think it's a nightmare. And when it happens, I get so frustrated. But it never happens to me because if someone else doesn't have a booking link, I've got mine. So they'll book on my calendar. And so that's my favorite one is youcanbook.me. I originally found that because I was looking for something that integrated well with Google. I'm a Google girl. I run on Google. But Calendly is also another popular one. You Can Book Me is free. You probably don't even need the paid service, but the paid features are pretty cool if you're accepting payments or have multiple services. But imagine it's you agree to meet with someone and then you need to schedule a time. So all those like 4, 5, 6 emails that go back and forth trying to schedule a time, you can put on there. Another program, I actually just thought of this as I was saying, that really helps with scheduling with more than one person is called Doodle. It's a silly name, but you can create a business account for it. And Doodle is like where you send out options to people and they can click on the times that they're available, or preferred and available and not available. And then you can easily see the time that everyone's available. So that's great for groups, especially if you're kind of all in, you're not working at the same company and you're not all on the same calendar. And then the next one I wanted to share with you is Boomerang. So Boomerang, I think, is like $5 a month. It's Boomerang for Gmail. You add it to your Chrome extension and add it to your Gmail. And what Boomerang does is it will automatically send you back an email to remind you to follow up with someone. And you can choose like for it to send it back to you only if they didn't reply or regardless, or only if they didn't click. I wouldn't use the click one because then they have to send a notification that says like this email is being tracked. But if they don't reply, you can bounce it back to you in 3 days or whatever time schedule you choose. You can also schedule emails to go out in advance in the future, right? So if you're batching your work, you can get on there and be like, you just send an email and be like, it's Saturday night. I don't want this person to get this though until Tuesday, right? So you can schedule a date in the future. So they'll bounce back to you. And what I suggest doing is setting up a rule so that those get filtered into a separate tab, so that when you're going through your emails, you can decide, when you're going to do your follow-ups. And then along with that is a task manager. An easy one is Google Tasks to get onto Google Tasks. And then what you can do is, my life is to tasks lists run my life, my own project manager. So make sure you integrate it with your phone so that you can easily set up you can set up tasks by with your phone easily, right? So you're going throughout your day and you're like, I don't want to forget this. And then you just go, add to Google Tasks this, and then it'll remind you of the time that you put. That's huge for me because I'm always thinking of things and ideas and things that I forgot to do on the go. And so I can put it in there and then it will actually show up on my task list. Another great benefit of that, if you're using Gmail, is that you can, when you integrate it with your Gmail and an email pops up, remember I said don't use your inbox as a task list? There's a button you could click that it'll add to that says add to tasks. So it'll take that email and add it as a task to your task list. And you just tell it which list to add it to and the due date. So that's one way you can avoid using your email as a task manager. And then there's a program called Zapier. Zapier is really important. It integrates everything that you have to do manually, you can send a Zap to do it. So like I have a spreadsheet that I have my salespeople fill out, a report. And instead of sending it to them every Friday to remind them, I have a Zap send it for me. So it sends a spreadsheet and then, they fill out a form and it populates the spreadsheet with the calculations. Lastly, before I go, I got 2 minutes, is hire a VA. Even if you're employed, you can probably hire a VA to do all the other things that you can't automate. Okay, have a great day and I'll see you next week. Bye.